Hi guys. I sprayed my face. Hold on. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, just got a few things going on here. I've waited 100 years. Where the heck is the thing? I'll wait a million more for you. Here it is. Nothing prepared me for what the privilege of being yours would do. I just had to restrict access on my Facebook. Hi guys, how's everyone doing? So I'm going to be doing a reading. Okay. Truth be told, I wasn't going to be live today. Yeah. But I just felt like someone needed me to be on here for some reason. So I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I heard is they're trying so hard to affect you. Now, that leaves me wondering, are they, I don't know who they are, but are they trying to affect you in a positive manner, a negative manner? Do we need to fight somebody? Don't fight anyone. Really, though, don't fight anyone. I'm totally just joking. Let me get the cards. Let's get started. Yeah. I think after this, I'm probably most likely going to be going on to our exclusive chat area on the soulsanctuary.love. If you're not already a member of my ministry, and you can become a member of the ministry, I shouldn't even really call it that, but anyways, if you would like to be a recurring contributor, you simply go to the soulsanctuary.love, and there's various tiers of contribution. And that's how you can go ahead and support the ministry, our nonprofit. And as our thank you for the various tiers of support for our ministry, I feel like I have to shuffle this one more time. You have access to areas that are exclusive for our ministry participants. All right, there. And one of those areas, and yes, I like to have exclusive areas because, little known fact, my Piscean ass is extremely sensitive. It's extremely sensitive, okay? I'm sensitive. And Emmy on a public live stream is a different aspect of me versus Emmy in exclusive chat area. Just because, yeah. Okay. So, oh, I didn't even pull cards from these two. Let me get a couple cards from you too. So, let's see what mofos are trying to do to you now. Let me recalibrate myself. Let me recalibrate myself. I don't want to be like I don't want to be a negative person right now. So, let's start. So, cycles, you're cycling through something. Right? All of these cycles that you continue to go through, these cycles that take you in and out of spaces of access. It has a lot to do with this feeling of an attempt to really, really upset you and access you, and, like, Yeah. There's just so much attempt at really, really tapping into you, your energy, your manifestation capacity. And you have to be very careful of what you allow yourself to be baited by, right? Because it might be another human being, it might be an energetic thing. Something is trying to bait you to deplete all of your energy. Don't fall for it. So, rebirth and reverse. This is telling me that right now, the cycle that you're in has nothing to do with bringing forward a new you, a reborn you. It has more to do with really assessing and learning how to appreciate the you that you currently are. Okay. So, are you in a space of appreciating who you are right here, right now, today? Not after you achieve something, not after you've, grown or whatever else you might be thinking you need to do in order to be more acceptable, more palatable to other people. Um, so, if you want to be palatable, that means you are offering yourself for consumption. You are offering yourself up for other people to consume you. I don't know that that's the healthiest thing. I really don't. I don't know that that's the healthiest thing for you or for anyone. I think what the world, and this is just my personal opinion, what the world needs more of is people really, really standing in the light of their truth, really allowing themselves to be witnessed as they are. And the more people do this, the less afraid those who witness you become in regards to their own unfoldment, their own authenticity, and the journey to get to that authentic space. We have to really allow ourselves to be the forerunners, the trailblazers of our local environments. Sometimes you have to just really accept that that's your role in your environment. Part of the reason why you don't fit in, why, you seem and feel so different from everyone else, it has a lot to do with the ways in which you are the inspiration for the people that witness you day in and day out. We don't always want to accept that. We don't always want to accept the ways in which um, we don't fit in and why we don't fit in, and all of these different other things that we think are evidence somehow of our lack of worth. No, you have an intrinsic worth. And just because people who are currently in your environment lack the capacity to understand your worth does not mean anything. Have you heard of the Dead Sea Scrolls? You've heard of that, right? They were very ancient scrolls that were hidden away in some like shallow type cave somewhere near the Dead Sea. When those were discovered, I think it was discovered by a boy and his family. Um, there wasn't much material to use for their, family fire. Guess what they used? The Dead Sea Scrolls. Okay. That's information that's forever lost. They didn't understand the value of that. And so they consumed it. You will come across people who don't understand your value, and they will try and consume you. It's up to you if you will allow them. Okay? It's really up to you if you will allow them, if you will give them that time, that energy. It's up to you. It's really, really up to you. I'm just taking a moment to encourage myself to behave. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I mean, behave, behave. Boundaries. Whew, trying so hard to affect you. A lot of the things you will experience, a lot of the circumstance and all of that, it's about testing how you know how to apply the information, the ways in which you apply the information that you learn from previous life experience, right? So boundaries has a lot to do with knowing what you do and do not want, knowing what you will and will not allow. And in that knowing, really behaving accordingly. Okay? Really, really behaving accordingly. Part of, like, for me, for example, um, proper behavior when sharing such a sacred space with me is by not trying to disrupt the reading, by trying to request basically repeatedly for me to halt everything that I'm doing on 2 platforms so that I could give you a reading. You know, and it's one of those things where it's like, that's a boundary, but here's the thing. If I allow myself to go ahead and be triggered by that, because really, you know, you read the description and it says it's a general reading, right? So it's like there's nothing about this that is communicating, hey, here's the space to request free services. No, there's nothing about this that says that. But here's the thing, if I allow myself to halt, to correct a single person's behaviors, yes, it crosses a boundary. But yes, I'm also feeding into it if I stop everything that I'm doing just to do that, right? Some days I have it in me to continue going without stopping, without even acknowledging it. Other days, the cards ask me to acknowledge it. And other days, I'm in a mood. I don't know if y'all know this. I'm a moody ass motherfucker. I can be moody as fuck, for real. Yeah, I can be very moody. Oftentimes, when I come into this space with you guys, whatever moodiness I was experiencing right before the camera turned on is kind of temporarily paused because I'm focused on the space that we're sharing. So your focus can be something that really helps to ensure these boundaries are very much respected, not just by other people who are witnessing you, but by yourself as well, where you can understand, like, okay, some people are kind of just like that. You know, they'll go into any random space and be like, hey, I'm here. What are you going to give me? You know what I mean? And some people will, you know, just quietly observe, like, okay, what's happening here? What type of live stream is this? And then there's also other people who will be like, hey, what are we doing here? What are we talking about? Which, that's amazing, right? That's amazing to be able to ask, to vocalize a need to know. That's beautiful. But at the same time, it's like, I need to always sit in this space within myself where I'm cognitive of what boundaries I myself am crossing within myself, right? So it's like this, I'm shown this visual in my head of like I'm shown this visual in my head of when Frodo, okay, I'm like, I don't think it's a secret at this point. I'm a bit geeky. I like weird things. I love LOTR, Lord of the Rings, right? I love that. I love that series. And so in the first movie, if you're not familiar with it, like, I don't even know if we can be friends. Anyways, we'll talk about that later. But in the first movie, what happened was the other hobbits, Frodo was injured in some way. I don't want to ruin it for you if you haven't seen it. Frodo was injured in some way, and then one of the elves came, and there was just this, the wraiths were chasing her. They were trying to consume Frodo. They wanted Frodo. They wanted the Hobbit. And she kept going. And when she crossed that specific boundary, there was a river that is a boundary of her people's land, the elven lands, right? And as soon as she crossed that boundary and was within her space, her power as a sovereign, because I believe she was like the daughter of like the elf leader or whatever. Michael says, you're totally a fan. You don't even know their names. Hey, don't talk to me. But the thing was that she was outnumbered by really dark, malignant beings. She had no fear, and she refused to cross that boundary to go back to be accessible to those dark beings. So it's like when you allow yourself to be baited and you accept that bait, I mean, they got you on the hook at that point, right? So unless you're willing to be, I don't know if you've seen the video, these guys, they were deep sea fishing. I've watched a lot of videos for some reason. These guys, they were deep sea fishing on a boat, and they were trying to catch, I think it was like a swordfish, or maybe it was a shark, or maybe they're two videos. I think they're two different videos. One, it was a shark, I believe, and it jumped into the boat, and all the guys scattered. Right? If you're gonna get hooked, you could be that shark, or, and this is my preference, there was this marlin. I don't know. It's like a swordfish, right? It has a very long, pointy, effing mouth, and then it has the sail behind it. So that jumped out of the water, and it speared the fisherman in the chest. I would be that fish. You want to go deep sea fishing and hook me? I will provide you with an experience you will never forget. So I'm just saying, if you're going to let people hook you, you got to make sure that it is worth your while, that it is worth your energy, your effort, all of that. If I'm going to give you my energy, baby boo, you're never going to forget that. So intention. Think about what your intention is and what the intention is of the people who are trying so hard to affect you. So let me just look at these cards. I feel like there's a secondary meaning. There's like a secondary energy coming forward. So if we look here, so the boundaries and the intentions. One hand is holding a dagger. The other hand is holding a wand. You have a choice. Are you going to respond in the human way where you have the dagger and now, you're going to use physical force to protect yourself, right? To defend your space? Or are you going to go ahead and use a wand, your magical energy, your intentions? Intentions can be extremely magical. Intentions can be something very super duper, just potent, like down to the core. It can be that powerful, but it just depends on what your intention is. If your intention is in alignment with your needs and your purpose, I mean, really, nothing can stop you. Nothing can derail that type of intent. I feel like just a lot of focus on trying to derail you. The world is at the cusp of massive change. Every single one of our lives, it's at the cusp of being changed tremendously. So, are you going to go through the same cycles of getting right there to the cusp of it? You're like right at the edge of that change. And then right before you free fall into that change, are you going to pull yourself back? Are you going to allow something to pull you back? It's like wanting to go ahead and skydive, and you do everything you need to do to go ahead and find a place where you can actually be taken up in a plane and jump out of it so you can have that experience. And if you've never gone skydiving, whether you're going to go tandem, which is you're hooked to someone that knows what they're doing, or you're going to go ahead and learn how to skydive, they'll teach you for like I think an hour or two before you actually jump out of the plane. If you want to go ahead and skydive by yourself, you're going to need some time to learn the things that you need to learn for it to be safe, right? So they teach you how to like banana your body, pull your legs all the way back, so that way you have the greatest amount of surface area, and it kind of slows you down a little bit. You're not just like a rocket towards the earth. And it's this thing of like, are you really going to spend all that time, money, energy to learn all of this only to buckle yourself into the airplane right as they open the door? Because fear will do that to you. I remember when I went skydiving with my really good friend, it was a very interesting experience. Very, very interesting experience. And it was interesting because of the fact that neither of us were willing or trying to move in a space of fear, right? A space of limitation and fear. And so, one thing after another, normally that would have told me, like, don't do it. It's a sign. And I was just like, no, I'm not going to live like that. What I will do is set the intention. If I truly am in harm's way, this plane will not lift off the ground. We will not be allowed to enter into the sky. And we did. We did. And I tell you, I swear, it's the most hilarious thing. You guys probably think I'm crazy. But so I went tandem, right? I'm hooked to this guy. And we're sitting on the floor of like a tin can of an airplane. It was really, really small. It only had a seat for for the pilot. So it was really small. And we take off, and I'm like, okay, this is it. The wheels are off the ground. This is it. We're climbing higher and higher and higher. I'm hooked to this man, and I see something on the floor near my foot. It looked like just some random thing. And I was like, we don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. Just stop. You're just being a bugaboo. Just stop. And as we're about to reach altitude, something told me to ask him, hey, do you need that? And I point, he goes, oh, we need that. We definitely need that. You know why we needed that? It tells him what altitude we're at. If you go past a certain height, there's not enough time for your your parachute to deploy properly. So I was like, oh, we need that. And he told me, he goes, yeah, no, I need to put that on. I need to put that on. I was like, here's the thing though. He's not an idiot. You can't be the owner of a skydiving, whatever it was. I think it was like a skydiving academy, to be honest, and not know instinctually when to go ahead and toss your parachute, right? And guess what? We jumped. We jumped. Right when his leg went over the side of the door, I'm strapped to his crotch. I'm not joking. I'm strapped to his crotch. As soon as his leg swings over, I swing over. Yeah. And for a second, I was like, I don't want to. Why? Because I've never done it. Because what if it's not safe? Because what if there's a problem with the parachute? Because what if this? What if that? What if, what if, what if, what if? And what if everything is fine? Because it was fine. What if I was looking for every single possible excuse to not experience something so amazing? It was amazing. And I have a fear of heights. Yet while I was dangling from some strange man's crotch, like 1,000 feet in the air, I've never felt more at home. I've never felt more peaceful in my life. And you'd think that it's real quick. No, it takes you a few minutes to to drop all the way down. It takes you quite a few minutes. I think like 5 to 10 minutes. You're just dangling there. It was fun and it was beautiful. And it was an experience that I needed. Had I allowed my fear to halt me, had I allowed all of these intrusive thoughts, you know what intrusive thoughts are, right? Do you guys want to know? You guys want to know what intrusive thoughts are? That's like really, circulating around social media, especially like TikTok, woke talk, woke book, all of those spiritual, um, evolved communities. They talk about intrusive thoughts. You guys know what intrusive thoughts are in the world of energy? They're not your thoughts. Intrusive thoughts are what I call thought inception. They're demonic thought inception. So when you listen to those intrusive thoughts that try and limit you and your experiences, that try and cause you to become so afraid of what's being proposed for your experience, I think at this point, I know that I can pretty much deal with anything life sends my way. 99% at 555, right? 63-3-29-03. Love it. Love it. And that's the thing. If you allow yourself to continue to be derailed by other people's intentions because they don't want you to experience this or that, you're the only one that misses out on life experiences. You are the only one. Only you. Because it wasn't their experience to miss out on. You're the people that tell you, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you decide to them because their life continues. They can say whatever they want and they can go ahead and have all of these opinions about what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And at the end of the day, you're the only one who's going to have to live with the decisions that you finalize. Okay. Ooh. Sochi says, I may be moving back to the US next year. If not, maybe by the end of this year. And I had planned to maybe go back to Phoenix, but a couple of days ago, I started getting those thoughts of maybe not. Email me, Sochi. Email me, contact@meevolving.com. So, stability. Stability is so important for you right now. You need to allow yourself to experience whatever feelings you're needing to feel, even for a few minutes, a few hours, an entire day, even. Okay. I was feeling some type of way this morning. All morning, I was feeling some type of way, all the way through afternoon and now into the evening. You know what changed? You know what changed? I'll show you. Hold up. You know what changed my feelings? Do you know? Um, she is so sick of my shit, I tell you. I tell you, I tell you, I tell you. Thank you, Raising Faith. So what changed my mood? My kids bought Joy Joy a little hat. She look at her face. She's like, fuck. Why can't my family just chill? Because Joy, we can't chill. We have no chill. That's what changed my mood. And I was like, all right, let me not be a Joy Joy. Look at her face. She's so sick of it. She's sick of it. She's sick of it. She's just like, I'm sick of all of you. She's been mad at all of us for days now. We don't care. We like you a lot. Yes. And so that totally changed my mood because guess what? She was disgusted by the hat. She was just so disgusted. She was by the hat. Oh my God. And then I told her, we had this telepathic communication. I was like, Joy Joy, but you look so cute. And so, you know what happened? She changed. Hold on. She changed her mind. She gave me a minute. She gave me a minute. Don't look at the camera. She gave me a minute. That's all I wanted. And I was like, I love you, Joy. See? And now mood has changed. It's okay. It's okay. Intensification. Allowing yourself to witness the intensification of whatever process you're in. You're being pushed to the next layer level of your existence. You're being pushed. You're being pushed. Okay. If you walk, you don't have to get pushed. If you fight it, not only are you not willing to walk the path, you're also fighting it. You know what ends up happening, right? Your soul ends up dragging you. You guys, her face. She's like, oh my God, her face. Look at her face. Oh my God. She makes these faces like she's so disgusted. Bitch, you love me. Did you see her face? Like, God, this woman. What? I'm your mom. That's what you get for choosing me as your mom. Okay. Grounding and foundation and reverse. In order for everything that needs to happen in the appropriate way that it's meant to happen, your grounding and your foundation are going to need to be upside down. You're going to be rolled upside down for a moment. Yeah. That's like rolled upside down for a hot second right there. And it's going to be very disconcerting. It's going to be something that causes people to really lose a sense of who they are, you know? Like, in the grand scheme of things, nothing severely horrible is happening, but at the same time, I'm just a fucking traumatized person. So, like, in order for me to consider it like horrendous, I mean, most people would have lost their shit at that point. Well in advance of that point that I would need to reach to consider something horrendous. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. There is nothing horrendous happening in my life. There's a lot of things that I'm needing to deal with, a lot of just time consuming things. And it's like, yeah, I've definitely felt a shift into this space of questioning, questioning who I am, what am I doing, where I'm at within my life, within my career, within my this, within my that. These are things that I never really ask myself. I kind of just keep going, going, going. I keep working, 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 plugging away, plugging away, plugging away. And I never really ask myself these questions. And it's like, do I need to ask myself these questions or do I not? Or is it one of those things where, yes, you should ask yourself these questions, but not every day, maybe once in a great while, just so you can check in with yourself and see where you're at? Because when you check, excuse me, when you check in with yourself and see where you're at, even the people who try so hard to negatively affect you, they don't have that negative effect. They don't have the capacity to affect you in that way. So, yeah, I was there this morning pretty much all day. I don't know, maybe I'm still there. Who fucking knows? Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. So then it becomes this thing of like, hmm, hmm, where am I at? Am I somewhere bad? Am I somewhere like you hear these, social um, influencers? They get into trouble because they're doing like really fucked up shit. They're getting themselves into situations where it's like, what are you doing? And then it becomes this thing of to get out of that, not within themselves, but within that public perception, they will be like, I'm just in a really dark space. I don't know if they are. I don't know what their definition of a dark space is, but I do want to know, have you checked in with yourself? Have you taken stock of who you're associating with, of the actions that are going on behind the scenes that maybe you thought would never come to light? You thought you are so on top of everything that you can act an entire effing fool behind the scenes and no one will ever know. And it's this thing of, yeah, people are going to be like, well, oh my God, I can't believe Emmy's saying that, because like, oh my God, that's so not woke because she's not taking into consideration other people's stories and struggles. Yeah, shut up. Yeah, no, don't, no, not with me, not here. Make a video about it. Not here. My thing is this. I don't care what your title is in life. I honestly don't. I don't care what your title is in life. What I care about is the way you conduct yourself. And if you conduct yourself a different way off screen than you do on screen, where on screen you're super squeaky clean and super politically correct, but off screen you're a whole nother like, yeah, no, no, no. Mm-mm. I asked one of my nephews recently, am I the same person on live stream as I am in person? And they're like, yeah. There's nothing that I would do or say when no one is looking that I wouldn't do or say when there are many, many eyes watching me. No. I'm not going to enter into a space where I lack integrity, authenticity. Don't allow yourself to go there. Don't allow yourself to get to this space where you're willing to do things that are very dishonorable, things that would cause you to feel very ashamed if other people found out. No. Be who you are. At this point, be who you are. Allow yourself to really, really live in your most authentic spaces, to really, really, really just be who you are. There are still aspects of me that the public might not ever see just because I'm actually a very private person. I'm actually very, very private. And most of the things that I go through, I don't share with other people just because I like to deal with things on my own. Just because you're becoming authentic does not mean you have to force yourself to have these confessionals every day to other people. Not everyone is deserving of the honor of seeing certain aspects of you. Like, seriously, though, not everyone is deserving of that. You'd be very, very hard pressed to see pictures of me, like, in compromised situations. Why? Because I don't do that. You'd be very, very pressed to find pictures of me in provocative poses where I'm trying to get attention and external validation. Why? Because I don't do that. I don't need external validation. I don't need that. Am I saying I'm better than people that do need that? I'm saying your struggles, your intrusive thoughts are not mine. And I need to focus my energy on the things I do struggle with. See, people will try and get you to really take in their insecurities as your own and tiptoe around these different subjects. And it's like, that's not my insecurity. That's not my insecurity. I have insecurities that exist, but the things you're insecure about, they're not things that I'm insecure about, just because they're not. It doesn't make us any different because there's still insecurities, right? So this is about now really, really focusing your attention on you, the process that you're in, allowing yourself to have a depth of awareness that will get you to a space where you're just so super aware. You're just so super cognitive of the process that you're in. You're aware that you are in a process rather than thinking and feeling life is punishing you. The only one that punishes you is yourself. Well, that's not true. I mean, I've come across people who punish me. Yeah, but see, you gave them access to you. I'm not saying you deserved it. I'm saying you allowed, even passively, you allowed them to do that to you. I've never had a boyfriend treat me poorly. Ever. I've never had a boyfriend yell at me. I've never had a boyfriend like I don't know. I've heard of people, ladies being left behind, like at a gas station, at the mall, at whatever, because their boyfriend is pissed off. I've never had that. I've never been called out of my name in any relationship that I've been in. Never had that. Why? Because I don't give permission for that. Even as a teenager, no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And people will be like, oh, Amy, it's because you're so strong. Because, you don't know what it's like. I absolutely do know what it's like. That's why I don't allow that. Hello, narcissist father. Called me everything that he possibly think of. Why do you think I won't tolerate that? Anything that's reminiscent of the behaviors of my father, I will not tolerate in other people. You will either lose access to me or we will full on fucking fight. If I have no way to exit out of that, I will bulldoze the fuck through you. But I will not, at no point, will I sit there and subject myself to the same treatment that I received as a child. Honey, I'm not a child at this point. Be careful the way you address a warrior queen. You might find yourself at the receiving end of her war. And that's the thing. We give permission to other people through our lack of sovereignty, our lack of conscious decision making of what type of energy we're going to exist within. So a couple of weeks back, I was existing in a bit of this victim energy, right? You guys were pretty much able to witness, or finally I'd had enough from this stalker. And finally I'm just like, I've had enough. I've had fucking enough, right? And because of that, because you guys were able to witness that, something within me was like, there's no point in compartmentalizing this. There's no point. I should just process this right here, right now. And as I began the process of processing it, what happened? I entered into a space of feeling like a victim, feeling very powerless, very hopeless, very, very just low within myself. And as I entered into that space and I went to the gym to try and shift my mental health, you best believe there was a person at the gym who took that as an invitation to allow their predatory behaviors to be on showcase, right? Did I deserve that? Did I ask for that? No. Am I aware of my contribution to the co-creation of that situation? Yes. So that was a powerful reminder for me to not just remember part of my purpose as a female with a powerful as fuck voice is that I am letting the world see women can be powerful just being who they are. I mean, think about it. What type of woman, what race of female is stereotypically considered to be the most submissive and docile? Like, let's be like fucking real right now. Let's be really just blunt. You look at all the other races of females, all the other ethnicities of females, and the one that comes to mind is who? All my cousins in Asia, right? Submissive Asian, right? That's a fetish, right? There's nothing submissive about me unless I choose to be. That's my choice. That's my choice. And I'm not playing a role. I'm allowing the world to witness a stereotypically submissive female in a position of massive fucking power. Why? Because that's my purpose. That's my purpose. That is one aspect of my purpose. To exist as I am. And who am I? A powerful as fuck female that happens to be Asian. No, I won't play into the stereotypes. And I won't be your fetish. No. No. What are you going to do about it? Not a damn fucking thing, Smokey. Not a damn fucking thing. There's nothing anyone can do to change who you authentically are. This is who I authentically am down to my core. This is not me playing a role. My energy is extremely masculine because guess what? The first part of my life felt unsafe. And so I had to exist in my masculine energy. I'm very fucking comfortable there. I am so comfortable in my masculinity. But here's the thing, as of recently, I've been really, really feeling like continuing to exist in my masculinity to that degree. It's really evidence of my continuation of this fear that the environment that I exist within is not safe for me. You see, they say that a woman will step into her masculine energy until she is made to feel safe enough to blossom in her feminine. So now I'm at a point where it's like, I have this amazing community. What more do I need? What more do I need? I have an amazing family. I have an amazing community. I have an amazing team for work. I have amazing friends. What more do I need to feel safe? In the very rare instances where I've had a need, an extreme need, and I came to my community, you guys, and explained what that need is, oh my God, the outpouring of support. So I am protected. I am safe. I don't need to continue to exist in this overly masculine energy. But I don't need to reject that part of me either. That's there for when I need it. But I'm realizing I don't need it all the time. I can still be a mix of both. I don't have to be completely feminine. I don't have to be completely masculine. I can be a mix of both because that's what I am. Make mixture of the two. That's a beautiful, beautiful space to exist, in my opinion, where you can tap into this masculine aspect of yourself when you feel the need to, and you can live genuinely in your femininity, where you don't have to play this role, right? You don't have to be a caricature of who you actually are. And this is your invitation from your soul to join me in a space of authenticity, a space where you can really allow yourself to just bloom. You know, wildflowers, they don't ask anyone for permission. They don't wait to be planted in some type of decorative planter. They don't need special soils. They don't need special treatment. They grow wherever the hell they want, whether it's in concrete, whether it's in rock, whether it's in the dirt, whether it's in the mud. The environment doesn't take from the beauty of a wildflower. And maybe that's what you are. Maybe that's what you're destined to be. Maybe as part of your path to your destiny, you are being asked to return to a space of understanding your beauty is yours, regardless of what the environment you exist within is. Have you taken the time to recognize the gravity of who you are? Because I've been trying to take the time to really come to terms with a deeper understanding of a gravity I have within me, a gravity that I can't wrap my mind around. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. I do, but I don't. I get it when I dissociate from my identity. Like, I get it. But when I exist as myself, I don't get it. I don't understand. What is the big deal? I remember years ago, I was having a conversation with someone, and it was this very topic. And I was like, I don't understand what the big deal is. Why are people making this a big deal? Like, I don't understand why people are so fixated on me. Like, what did I do? And this person says to me, Emmy, what do you mean you don't understand? I don't understand. That's what I mean. I don't understand. And you know what she said? And it kind of, if we're going to be really honest, it really turned me off. It offended me. It offended me. And I still remember it. That's how much it offended me. She said to me, Emmy, you're like the cool kid at the cool table. You mean like in high school? Like in high school? Like how in high school there was a table where all the cool kids sat, and if you didn't sit there, you were like one of the rejects. I didn't sit at the cool kid table at high school, nor did I really have a good opinion of the cool kids. So that's offensive. It's just, well, you know, you don't understand. You don't understand. Clearly I don't. Clearly I don't, because guess what? The moment I stopped playing along with the cool kids at the cool table, my chair was taken away from the cool table. They thought it would break me, but guess what? I had already walked away. It's only right you take my chair, right? It's only right. I mean, I would hate for you to wait for me to come back because I wasn't planning to. Literally. I wasn't planning to. And that's the thing. So many of us, make it a goal to become one of the cool kids at the cool table. Are you still in fucking high school? I don't know about y'all, but I'm past 40. I am past 40. I will be entering into my prime in a few years. Like, I'm inching my way towards my prime. High school, please. No part of me wants to go back to that space. Why? Because I didn't understand the gravity of what I offer other people when I was in high school. Fuck out of here. Are you kidding me? I was such an introvert. It was ridiculous. I was such an introvert. It was so ridiculous. Why would I ever want to go back to a space of high school? Other people's perceptions of you are simply their opinion of what you have allowed them to see. You see, back in that time, I only allowed people to see me be very, very sweet, because I can be a very sweet person. I get it. I can be very helpful, very giving, very loving. And I tend to be excessively helpful, excessively giving, excessively generous, excessively protective of other people when I'm very destabilized within myself. That was a period of destabilization within myself. That was a tremendous period of destabilization. So people's perceptions of me was that I was a doormat, that I was an ATM. Quite a few of them. Yeah. I was the person where if you're short on funds, you just message my business page and we'll get it to you right then and there. That's what I was known for. And mind you, as I was giving everything away, literally, I was homeless. I was homeless. And I was working maybe 16, 17-hour days, 7 days a week. Homeless, giving away everything, keeping just enough for groceries and gas. Do you think people appreciated that? Some maybe did. Yeah. There's quite a few of you that were part of that period, and I appreciate your continued presence in my journey. You have no idea. You have no idea. But a large portion, no. The moment the ATM was emptied, they were gone. They were gone, right? They were gone. And it's not this thing of I feel used. It's this thing of I allowed myself to recognize I created those dynamics. And as I gave people permission to do that, The longer I did that, the harder it became to correct what I first created. And as I stepped more into my personal power, as I stepped more into this space of who I actually am, and not being so apologetic for being me, the less it became about trying to appease other people's perceptions, other people's expectations. People will have some expectations of you. When I was much younger, late teens, early 20s, I'm not sure why. What I heard the most, because I would go to work very dolled up, right? Very unsure. I was still subscribing to this mindset, this perspective that Eurocentric features were much more beautiful than my own, that I needed to be pale AF, and that my nose was not, Anglo enough, and that my weak jawline and receding chin was just not, you know what I mean, right? And that my eye color was too dark, that my hair was the wrong color. And so I would try and make up for those deficiencies that I felt that I had by going out of my way to doll myself up so that I could be more tolerable, that my aesthetic would somehow be more tolerable, right? And I was raised to be a Stepford soul. You must be prim and proper. You must sit always upright with your hands in your lap, nice and neatly folded like this. You must conduct yourself like a lady. You don't cross your legs, you cross your ankles. Just a lot of different little things like that. I always had to be in heels. I always had to have some lacquer on my nails, nothing garish, very neutral or clear polish. My hair was super thick, super long, because I felt like I was not going to be acceptable unless my hair was either to the top of my butt crack or to the back of my knees. I kept my hair extremely long and it was super thick. And I did all of this for what? To be more acceptable? So that people would be able to tolerate me easier? I never spoke either. I never spoke. I would sit with a half smile because when my face is resting, there's an intensity in my energy. And so I would sit there with a mask on and a half smile and soft eyes, never looking anyone in the eyes. Because again, the intensity, right? And what did that get me? Did that level of self-control help me to excel at whatever my purpose is? No, it further hid me. And the most common thing that people would say to me after they got an opportunity to get to know me even just a little bit, and it was weird because I was just like, really? After going through all of that effort to try and be more tolerable, people would be like, oh my God, you're so nice. I thought you'd be a total bitch. Why would you think that? Why would you think that? You can't control other people's perception of you. You cannot control the way they receive your energy. For a very long time, and I know quite a few of you can relate to this, anytime I enter into a space, it's like the entire space will pause. Literally everyone will stop what they're doing, and it's like everyone's holding their breath and they turn and look at you. And it's a very uncomfortable feeling. It's a very uncomfortable feeling. And it's almost like they're waiting for you to exhale, because your exhale gives them permission to also release the breath they're holding. That's because you carry a gravity that other people can sense. It has nothing to do with the way you look. It has everything to do with souls recognizing other souls. There are some souls who will recognize you as a high priestess of spirit that you are. And if they're upside down in their perceptions and their logic, they will see you as an upside down high priestess of spirit. They will have jealousy. They will have all of these reasonings as to why their attack of you, their hatred of you is justified. My personal and professional opinion, fuck those bitches. Fuck those bitches. Who cares? Who cares? Save your energy for yourself. Denial in reverse. Your soul is not allowing you to deny things anymore. It's requiring your obedience. So here's the thing, okay? Being who I am, being the wildflower that I am, I refuse to be obedient to other people just for the sake of obedience. If your requirement of me is to be obedient to your will, you're going to be disappointed. Now, what I've also learned, when my soul is the one requiring the obedience, I better quit messing around. I better just be obedient, because I'm never going to win that fight. I'm serious. I am never going to win a fight against my soul. My soul's a little bit crazy. Yeah. My higher self is gangster. So I'm just like, I won't win that. Let me not even try. What was it that you wanted me to do? So the fledgling. You only feel like the fledgling. You aren't actually a fledgling. You're not. You're not actually a fledgling. I hate to break it to you. You've lived quite a few lives. So I've had like thousands of clients over the years, literally thousands. I want to say approaching maybe like 10,000 clients over the years that I've been public. And it's this thing of, in about 10,000 clients worth, I've only come across one person who's only had 2 previous lives. Only one. Everyone else, like, you know how many times you've been here? Do you know how many times you've been here? Quit fucking around, for real. You're not a fledgling. You are so not a fledgling. I know I'm not a fledgling. You're not a fledgling. None of us are fledglings. Stop faking the funk. Stop trying to convince yourself that you don't know. You might not remember yet, but you do know. You do know. And you're going through the very life circumstances that will help you to remember. Okay? Be patient with your process. Oh my God. Oh my God. Don't remind me. Okay. I better hurry up with this reading, because I need to do an exclusive chat with my people. Oh my God. I took a nap this afternoon. I'm not going to talk about it. I'll talk about it in the private chat. Meet me there after this. Okay. I'm telling you, it was not good. It was not good. It was not good. So visions, being able to see what needs to be seen. Okay. Touche, touche. Card number 8, being able to see. So there is someone who you have this connectivity with, right? It's just these two spheres of consciousness. Is these two spheres of consciousness that they were separate, and then they ping, and as they ping, they held on. So then what does that look like? What does that look like? It looks like the infinity symbol. All right. Let me just draw some stuff for you guys, right? So, once upon a time, there were two consciousness, right? And then, see? And then they went through this process of expansion. And as they expanded, that space between, because of their polarization, became so much more pronounced. Right? Right. But see, now, because there's an increase in that feminine energy, so we have the masculine energy and then we have the feminine energy. Masculine, feminine. Because the feminine energy is increasing, because she's increasing, feminine energy is magnetic energy. So as she becomes more infused with that femininity, that feminine grace, what ends up happening is, oh, I'm not done drawing you guys stuff. She increases in her magnetism. And so what happens is he's drawn to her just as she's drawn to him. Right? Right. And eventually the spheres will ping and merge. It's the coming together of two separate consciousness for all of eternity. It's the process from which that elevation and ascension mechanics, that's where it's rooted. Okay. So rigid. Mm-hmm. If you're going to be rigid in your protection of yourself, I totally see the vision, right? Because vision. Okay. She's standing in front of the moon. The moon represents things that are hidden. So, to some degree, you're aware of what's hidden, and your response to that is to build walls. If you're going to build walls like this, you know what's going to happen. Your soul is going to let you build the wall, let you expend as much energy as possible to build those walls. And then, my nose is itchy. And then what it's going to do is it's going to bring, what are they called? Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Trebuchet, a catapult. That's what it is. All right. So let's look. This is what I see your higher self bringing. You see this? You see that? Your higher self will allow you to build the walls. And as you build those walls, it's going to go ahead and use your stubbornness as the boulder, right? It'll use your stubbornness as the boulder that is the projectile of your trebuchet. Yes. It's going to fuck you up. In layman's terms, your higher self will kick your ass. Trust me, I know. Speaking from experience. Just, higher self be cray. High Priestess of Water. This is you now needing to allow yourself to reach this space of evolutionary flow. Just really just flowing. I mean, remember, you are your own person. Stop with this whole thing of like, what? Sorry. Stop with this whole concept that's being like peddled, this concept of like we're basically all the same. You're not. You are not. Be yourself. Be who you are. Let's put it in these terms. Some people will go out of their way to try and convince you, like, oh, you shouldn't feel this way about someone who's doing you so dirty because we are one. How many people have those individuals helped? The people who continue to share this concept of oneness, right? How we are one. How much suffering have you ended? We are one. How come there are still starving people in this world? Have you eaten today? Because if you're saying we are one and you have eaten today, if you have eaten within the last week, we clearly are not one because there are people who haven't eaten in weeks. So when people start using that cyclical language on you, those concepts that keep you ensnared in this cycle of really shaming you for not doing, it's a lot of gaslighting, you guys. It's a lot of gaslighting. It's a lot of gaslighting. It is okay for you to just be you. You see, I'm just me. I'm just me. In this life, I am meant to live an individuated experience where I'm going to just be myself, be as human as I possibly can be, with this acceptance that I will have elevations in consciousness expansion. That's okay. That helps me to fulfill my purpose even better, helps me to serve my purpose even more efficiently. But we are not one. It is okay for me to be a singular person. Even as a singular person, I cannot stand the suffering of other people. If I see you without, I will give to you if I have. And if I don't have, I will find a way to get something for you. I cannot stand the suffering of people. Me as a singular individual, I cannot stand that. I can never be for that. I like to think I'm a person that you can feel my integrity. You can listen to me speak even for a few minutes and know the depth of my integrity, of my compassion. That you can witness me as I am and know I'm not here for ego. I'm not here to build an audience and all of that stuff and be famous. And I like to think that I make it very clear that that's the person I am, right? That I'm so far removed from all of that bullshit. So tell me, if I'm none of those things, how would I benefit? In what ways do I benefit by contradicting the popular opinions? I'm already excommunicated from how many communities? Because I did something bad? No, because I would not bend to their will. I would not co-sign their bullshit. Oh, boo-hoo. You excommunicated me from a group. I was like, what the fuck am I doing here? Boo-hoo. Yeah. There's nothing for me to gain. As a matter of fact, it just makes me even more irritating to the people who are peddling you the same fucking lies just to garner your following, your likes, your views, your shares. I make it harder for them because the things I say carries a gravity, and that gravity is in opposition to their flimsy, unsubstantiated words. Anything I talk about is something I've lived through myself. And if I have not lived through it, I'm very uncomfortable talking about it. How many people out there talk about so much that they've never even lived through? How many? Too many. Far too many. And I'm not saying I'm better. I'm saying I have the experience to back up the opinions that I've formed because of those experiences. The things I talk about are not gotten from a book. It's not from some Google search. It's just not. Because I don't need to be right. I don't need to be the one that, I'm going to bring you information that I can't tell you where I got it because, that's my secret source. But listen, I'm so advanced because I know about these things. I'm just like, you're so full of shit. Stop it. Stop. No. And I'm up front. A lot of the things I talk about, you will not find that online. A lot of the things I talk about, you will not find it online. Why? Because there's this fucking disembodied voice talking to me. Says his name is Michael, and he talks to me and tells me all kind of shit. And I'm like, listen, take this shit with a grain of salt. This is fucking from Michael. Michael said, he told me a couple years back, this is what he told me. I don't know. Speculation. It's speculation. Guys, listen to your internal guidance more than you listen to the people who tell you things in order to build an audience. Listen to yourself. One of the things that I realized I've been around a lot of different types of people. I've been around people who have the capacity to build a large following. Large. Okay. And I observed. I didn't covet. I didn't wish I could do that. I didn't observe so that I could recreate what they were doing and build myself an audience. I observed and I saw, oh shit. They follow you because you tell them to. I don't want that. I don't want followers. I want people who are capable of cognitive thought, people who are free thinkers, people who are equals, people who are seeking truth as deeply and passionately as I do, day to day to day. I don't want people who will simply consume what I say because I say it and I'm fucking cocky when I say it. And that's what I learned. And I had a conversation with my soul. We played telephone using Michael. And I said, if that's what you mean when you say I'm going to be that, I don't want that. Hide me away. I don't want that. The only people that I want around me are the people who see me as their equal. I don't want to be placed on a pedestal. I don't want to be followed and worshiped like that. That's fucking bullshit. Hide me away until people are ready to step forward and walk beside me. In the same ways that the apostles walked with Jesus, hide me away until they're ready, because I don't want any of that shit. I don't want that. You know how easy it is to actually build a following on social media? Do you know how easy that shit is? Fucking easy. It is easy. You play a role. You find the stereotype that's trending and you play that. You take it into your core like it's your personality and you play that. One of two roles. One of two roles. Someone who will dominate you, because most people, they want someone who will dominate them and tell them what to do, what to think, what to believe. They don't want to take accountability for their actions and their decisions, right? They'll choose that. Okay. The second type, it's the submissive type. The kind where you pull on their heartstrings and you really, really just let them feel like they're so superior to you. They got to protect you. You're their new little pet. You're their little teacup. I'm neither of those things. I am neither of those things. I have zero interest in dominating people. The only time I become dominant when someone tries to dominate me, because fuck that shit. Bitch, please. And no, I'm not submissive. I will not do what you say just because you tell me to say it. Ask me, reason with me, help me to understand why my participation in your circumstance is necessary. And then I'll think about it. And if it resonates with me, I will absolutely do it. If it doesn't, I hope you find someone who can help you. You have to stop playing into these psychological games that are pushed out there. They're manipulating you. It's a manipulation. You know how many celebrities try and like, oh my God, I love you. Oh my God, I love you. Motherfucker, if I don't love you, I don't love you. I'm not going to say I love you. You say I love you to me, I'll be like, oh, thank you. I'm straight. My husband tells me he loves me and I'm mad at him. Thank you. You're like, you're fucked up. I said, I love you. I heard you. Thank you. I'm not feeling love right now. I'm not saying I don't love you. I'm saying I don't feel love right now. So I'm just that's the best you're going to get from me is thank you. I heard you. Thank you. Don't let people get in your mind. They're trying so hard to affect you. They are trying so hard to affect you. And I love my husband. Don't get me wrong. I've never loved a man the way I love this man. He be fucking pissing me off sometimes. Not all the time. Sometimes. And if I'm pissed off, I cannot fake that shit. I cannot fake that shit. That doesn't take away from the love that I feel for him all the time. But if I'm not feeling it right there, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Maybe a few minutes later, I'll be like, you fucking lucky. I love you so much. I swear to fucking God. I would choke the shit out of you. Yeah, he's laughing. He thinks it's cute. He thinks it's cute. Am I telling the truth though? And then he'll try and feed me. He'll be like, oh, she just needs to eat. No, you made me mad. I don't need to eat. Stop feeding me. But I do need to eat. Soon. I need to eat soon. Reminder in reverse. We've forgotten. We've forgotten about our sovereignty, about all of these different things. We've forgotten the energetic world that lives inside us, right? We've forgotten the world within our own world. We've forgotten how to love ourselves unconditionally. We've been conditioned to believe that enablement of people's poor treatment of you is somehow, unconditional love. It's not. It's not. Mm-mm. You can ask my husband when he is too toxic for my taste. He got his road rage going on. I'm like, you're fucking toxic. You toxic right now. He's like, what? I'm not yelling out the window. I'm like, motherfucker, you in the car with me. I can hear you. You're bathing me in the toxic energy. I don't like this. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. Mm-mm. 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 Nope. Mm-mm. That's not unconditional love. That's enablement of bad behavior. That's enablement of bad behavior. That's not unconditional love. When you allow people to behave in whatever way they feel like towards you, because you want to prove to them you're their ride or die, how is it love to live in such a way where you will allow someone to ride you until you die? That you would carry them in their toxicity until you have nothing left for yourself. Like, my husband's not actually toxic. He has attitude like a mofo. I swear to God, Geminis, y'all gonna be the death of me. I will die because of Gemini from the stress of Gemini attitude. If you're a Gemini, I swear to God, I fucking love you guys so fucking much. Geminis, you're my favorite. Fucking favorite. He's not actually toxic though, not in that way. No. Spirituality as it's taught right now is teaching you to not just accept people's toxicity, but to embrace it. This whole concept of before you judge, you need to consider their story and what they've been through, what hurt them to cause them to hurt other people. I don't give a shit what hurt them to cause them to hurt other people. What I'm concerned about is they go to a qualified, licensed mental health professional so they can stop hurting other people, because that shit don't roll with me. I don't think so. I have a lot of experience of people hurting me. I don't do that to people. So that concept can go suck a donkey ball sack. I didn't mean for that to come out. But it can. It can. It can go suck a hairy donkey ball sack. I don't care. I don't care. It is not my job. I'm not your therapist. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Right? I'm not your therapist. I'm not. I'm not your social worker. I'm not your psychologist, your psychiatrist. I'm not any of those things. I am a human being just like you are, and we both deserve to live with dignity. And your dignity will not come at the price of my own or anyone else's in this space either. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. There's nothing toxic about that logic. Okay? That logic of your dignity cannot come at the cost of my dignity. No. No. You want to go like this? See that? See that action right there? I'm loosening up my wrist to pimp slap your ass. Step the fuck back. So that's where it goes. I was badass at badminton. You know why? The amount of snap in my wrist because of my Ehlers-Danlos. Because of my Ehlers-Danlos. See, look. See this? See this? I can touch my forearm. That's a test I do. Okay, you got to find something to celebrate in your human existence. You know, it doesn't matter. Okay, so for most people, it's gonna be like, I mean, there's nothing to celebrate. I have no money. I have all these bills. Okay, here's the thing. You don't need money to celebrate. You don't need money to celebrate. You can just be joyous within yourself. Sometimes a celebration is something as simple as just finding yourself smiling in your small kitchen that has no groceries because you don't need a reason to smile. You don't. You don't. I mean, yeah, it sucks if you have no groceries, right? That sucks. That sucks. That needs to change. But that doesn't mean you have to be sad. It just doesn't. I don't know if it's because I come from a third world country and that's kind of just how I know life to be. Like, you don't have to be sad just because things are not luxurious. That doesn't mean you have to be sad. There can be a lot of happiness in a very basic, simple existence. You know how much happiness my family had living in, I think it was like a 24-year-old, 22-year-old, I don't know, over 20-year-old RV. We're very happy. We're very happy. Very simple. We had no hot water. We had no fridge. Our fridge was a cooler. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. We had no slide outs. This old school RV, no slide outs. We had no generator. Man, it was beautiful. There was so much to celebrate consistently. Such a peaceful life. It was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful period. And it really helped not just me, not just my husband, but all of our kids to really begin to understand with full clarity what's actually important in life. When you have limited space and limited means, only the most important things are allowed to be prominent in your thoughts. It's beautiful. It was beautiful. I would willingly live in an RV again. I don't know that anyone in my family would join me. I think they'd all be like, no. No. We like unlimited hot water. I already know. That was the only drawback. We didn't have unlimited hot water. We didn't even have hot water because we blew the water tank. The first time we decided to stay in snow. Yeah. We froze the water pump. And then our septic froze. And then I tried to run the hot water. And when we hooked up to city water, like a day or so later, we didn't know. So it burst the pipe that leads to our hot water. So we didn't have hot water. It's okay though. It's okay. It was still I'd say that was still one of the most beautiful experiences we had. I still look back at that period like so fondly. So beautiful. All right. All right. Here goes, guys. So we have this card come up. All right. Remember what I was talking about, the masculine and the feminine. I did an entire mini dissertation on this, led to this. Okay. So eventually leads to a full convergence, it becomes a singularity, right? A world within a world. So there's this message of the feminine is unaware, the masculine is fully aware of the process. Maybe she just doesn't want to look. Maybe, I don't know. You know your situation. So it's something that's very hard to believe, right? But you're going to have to try and find a way to believe yourself, to believe in yourself, to believe your story, to believe your timeline, all of that. So, communication, allowing yourself to really, really connect with your higher self. Uh, be fearless. Be very unafraid. Allow yourself to be fearless. All right, you're going through this progress. You don't have to be afraid of being reborn from your shadow. First and foremost, that fear of entering into your shadow spaces is causing you to be very like unsure of yourself. It's causing you to tap more into that warrior spirit. I don't know that that's necessary. Okay. For some, it might be because let's face it, some of us are dealing with total assholes. I said what I said. I said what I said. Maybe you're offended because you're one of those assholes. I'm just saying. You didn't think I could hear you. That's cute. You might want to rewind this video, like, I don't know, about an hour. I was talking about stereotyping Asians to be submissive. See, my people, we were subjugated by Spain. That's why they call it the Philippines. It was a territory of King Philip, right? So here's the thing. I tap more into my Spaniard blood. You're not going to find submissive here. You're cute, though. Innocence in reverse. Allowing yourself to step out of the space of pretending that you have no idea what's going on with yourself, with your life, and all of these processes that you're in. You know what this is. You're trying to deny a shedding cycle that you've entered into. It's okay. It's okay for you to shed. Okay. It's okay for you to shed all of those old layers of other people's opinions and expectations of you. You don't have to play a role anymore. Let's do something together really quick. Let's do something very, very, very powerful. I want you to take a deep breath in and close your eyes. Slowly exhale. Inhale the light of your truth. Exhale the darkness of your doubt. Inhale the light of your truth. Exhale the darkness of your doubt. Continue to breathe very deep, very slow. And as you're breathing with your eyes closed, I want you to repeat after me. I don't have to pretend anymore. I don't have to pretend to be a character anymore. I don't have to pretend to be a character anymore. I don't have to pretend. It's okay for me to be me. It's okay for people to feel whatever they feel, witnessing me be who I am. It's okay for me to remember who I actually am. Take another deep breath in. Slow exhale out. There you go. Something that was hidden from you. You'll see it very soon. Michael says there's a secondary message here. That secondary message, it has a lot to do with someone trying so hard to affect your process so that you can feel them. That's what Michael is saying. I find that to be rude, but someone is trying so hard, is so desperate for you to be able to feel them, to feel their struggle in your absence. And it's up to you guys. I kind of feel like if they valued you while you were still around, right? Because the feeling is this is someone who's known you in the past. If they valued you while you were still around, they wouldn't have to be struggling, would they? You would probably still be around. Because the feel that I get is that for most of you, literally most of you that share space with me so consistently, you have the capacity to overlook so much caca and make excuses and continue to enable. So it probably took a lot for you to walk away, for you to finally close that door. I don't know if it needs to be reopened or if it needs to be nailed shut. I don't know. But Michael says that's a secondary meaning. That's a secondary message. So, do with that whatever you feel like you need to do. Only you know what you lived through. It's not for me or anyone else to tell you what to do with that information. Like I said, only you know what you lived through, what you were forced to endure because of this individual. And no, cross watchers, you don't get to say, don't say that, don't be like that, because people learn. Okay, well, I'm glad we were able to help you learn. It's time for you to move it along. You are not entitled to re-access a person who you burnt the bridge to reach. You wanted so badly to have a bonfire. You got your bonfire. You fucked up that bridge. It is on you to rebuild the bridge. And if you don't have the material to rebuild it, get off your ass and find the material to do so. That is how you prove to that person who you disappointed how sorry you are for that lapse in judgment. You are not entitled to access anyone just because now you're sorry. I don't give a shit that you're sorry. Show it with your actions. Collect all the fucking twigs that are necessary. You don't even need to cut down a tree if you don't have an axe. But you best believe your ass better be weaving some twigs to create a floating bridge. Because I'm telling you, none of my people need to put any more effort into giving you access so you can disappoint them once again. You've changed, prove it. prove it. You better come with a basket of fucking berries after you build that twig ass bridge. Because we need to be fed. I'm saying, please don't let people convince you that what you experienced was experienced wrong. No, I experienced what I experienced based on what you intended for me to feel. I'm not going to lie to myself anymore. I don't think so. Fucking pick some berries, bitches. I think I should make that into a shirt. Pick some berries, bitches. Should we make that into cards? We'll turn that into a card and you can just mail it to them. Pick some berries, bitches. Let me stop. Okay. Okay. Yuga Shakti. Okay, girl. Okay. You ready to eat? She looks like she's ready to eat. Okay. Yuga Shakti. Let's see. Card number 13. 13 being the number of that divine feminine, that lunar energy, yin energy. Ooh, grapes sounds so good. Thank you, Rising Faith. Okay, Yuga Shakti. Her timing is fierce with compassionate wisdom. To love her is to honor her greater knowing. She demands the surrender of our futile attempts to control that which is beyond our sphere of understanding until that pain transforms into the sweet pleasure of release. Even the right thing cannot attain fruition at the wrong time. Ooh, ooh, I even highlighted this. What? Even the right thing cannot attain fruition at the wrong time. Trust her and be shown again and again that her divinely orchestrated workings of time serve you faithfully with love and with grace. So maybe for some, they're not berry picking bitches after all. Okay. Let's take a half step back. We do the cha-cha. We take a half step back. Okay. So maybe for some, what happened was not a case of someone being disrespectful and disregarding, and maybe for some it was a case of even the right thing cannot come to fruition at the wrong time, right? So congrats, Eliza. Kali's outstretched tongue and open mouth signify her fierce form as a devouring divine warrior goddess. Time emerges from Kali and it ends with her. To birth the new, she devours the old. Persistence for clinging to what has been, the attachment to our past pain and fear of an unknown future are no match for her genius and unwavering will to clear it away, to provide the best conditions for the next chapter to unfold. There are cosmic cycles within which the personal cycles in our lives must align. There are karmic time frames that govern our soul contracts and relationships, the timing of life circumstances and changes of fortune, and the opening up of pathways for us. Using our free will, we can enhance the flow of healing and do all we can to ready ourselves to step forward at the appropriate moment. So we're approaching a time, a very, very specific time, and I want you to be able to really utilize this for the greatest growth, for your greatest good. It's the Divine Mother in infinite wisdom and regenerative power that knows and enacts a perfect transition at the best time. She orchestrates the shifting of individual and collective cycles to be in harmony with each other. So every being gains spiritual benefit through what unfolds. The Oracle of Yuga Shakti confirms that you are going to experience considerable change. Things are about to change. The timing of this unfoldment is significant. There are many factors at play. You will sense when the correct moment is upon you. During this time globally, the light of spiritual knowledge is partially subsumed within the darkness of ignorance and confusion. Here's the thing. Let's define ignorance. It's not ignorance is bliss. Define ignorance. Lack of knowledge or information, inexperience, unconsciousness, incomprehension. Middle English via Old French from Latin ignorantia, from ignorant, not knowing. Let's see. A lack of knowledge, understanding, or education. See, for a lot of people, this really is an indication, a reminder of how we are still very much ignorant. How? Well, because although you've read so many spiritual texts, all these manuals and whatnot, just because you memorize other people's half truths does not mean you're now educated in the world of spirit, in the realm of spirit and energy. Okay. This is about really allowing yourself to finally begin truly learning from your life experience the things that you need to learn, the things you need to be cognitive of. And they're trying to use confusion, separation, division, competition, comparison, all of that. They're trying to use all of these tactics to really, really push forth that Hegelian dialectic. Oh, shit. I'm going to be further shadow banned. I hate you, YouTube. Yeah, they don't like when I say that word. It's because it's a lot of the psychological warfare that goes on in the world uses that specific tactic. It's a part of the theater of psychological warfare. During this time globally, even those with the awareness to have positive intentions can become confused and place profit above integrity, attack brothers and sisters on the path, or lay claim to knowledge on false foundations. Even when our intentions are noble, in effect, our actions can create further suffering. Such conflict and confusion are signs that Ashuric or negative forces have gained the upper hand. Kali Ma's darkness and ferocity are required to redress the spiritual imbalance. We are in particular need of her most terrifying manifestations when we become confused as to what belongs to the highest sacred truth and what does not. Do not allow yourself to be convinced by another of anything. Let me read that again. I'm going to underline this shit right here. Mm-hmm. I'm saying, do not allow yourself to be convinced by another of anything. Lean into your heart connection to the divine. Inner clarity and higher understanding will arise for you. You will see how close the chapter on the past. You will see how to close the chapter on the past and move into a new cycle. It's this the timing of everything, it's speeding up. You're being encouraged to finish off whatever learning you're doing and to move forward. Unique to the iconography of Kali in the Hindu tradition from which she emerges is her poked out tongue. Kali's tongue represents her wild mystery teaching. The tongue is the organ of discernment, digestion, and speech. It assists us in taking the right things in and expressing ourselves as we choose. Our mother tongue means the language of our birth. Kali is a cosmic mother tongue. She is the original spiritual language of our hearts and souls. Hers is the language of spirit and light, of the truth beneath the form, and the reassurance that although we must submit to the shifting of greater cycles, those cycles ultimately move for our greatest spiritual benefit. When Kali unfurls her tongue with ferocious expression, she is embarking upon spiritual deliverance. It is the action that precedes her bringing about the end of a diabolical area of greed. So it's almost like we are really being encouraged to begin seeing exactly where we're at globally, right? Globally. This is not unique to one region. It is not unique to one ethnicity. It is not unique to one gender. It is not unique to one specific group, period. This is what we are experiencing as a collective whole. So let's see. Let's see. It is the action that precedes her bringing about the end of a diabolical era of greed, fear, confusion, hatred, self righteousness, and negativity. The tongue of Kali is a reminder that no matter what we may see unfolding before us, there is always a path back to the heroic and beautiful. If you've been struggling to let go of a negative legacy, perhaps one that extends back through generations or has infiltrated a group you belong to, this oracle signifies that a radical divine intervention shall take place. Call upon her for such assistance now. Know that an era of darkness is going to end. Unexpectedly and suddenly, a new spiritual dawn shall arise. An entirely new era is due to unfold. Keep close to Ma. She shall ensure it's brought into being in the best way at the best time. So, some people don't understand a lot of what's going on. Birth is a very violent, very messy, very chaotic, and emotion filled experience. Some people think, like, oh, when you have only one child, like, of course, yeah, you'll be scared. But after you have more than one, you're not scared anymore. I call bullshit. Every single birth of mine has been different. Every single birth of mine has been different. It has been experienced in a different way, with different emotions, from a different space within my heart, my thoughts, my mind, my soul. Every single birth has been different. Every single one has been laced with fear. What if I can't do it? What if I'm not enough? What if I do something wrong? What if something goes wrong? What if it's because of me? It's normal. It's normal to feel afraid. It's normal to feel afraid, especially when you feel a type of pain that you do not normally feel for no reason. For those who have felt the pains of labor and delivery, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a pain like you've never experienced in your life. It's okay though. A beautiful thing comes after that pain. A very, very, very beautiful thing that leads to beautiful opportunities, that leads to higher and higher elevations of potentialities. Every time I've given birth to another one of my children, a new type of mother is born. You become a different type of parent. You become a different mother with every single child that you give birth to, every single child that you take into your life, into your heart, whether you give birth or not. You become a different mother. You become a different person, a person that you never were before that moment. that child took its first breath. It's scary. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to not know what to expect. It's okay to have this fear of maybe you have a deficiency of some kind. It's okay. Every experience happens as it's supposed to. Every experience. Every single one. Believe in yourself. Expect chaos. Expect discomfort. Expect some type of pain. Expect the fear. And as you experience it, give yourself permission to before you let it go, before you allow yourself to sink deeper into this expansion of your awareness of the process that you're in. People think that the only way to safely give birth is in a hospital. How has humanity existed? Hospitals and all these modern luxuries and conveniences we've had, even grocery stores, those didn't become popular until early to mid 1900s. For most of us, that wasn't very long before we were born. Mm-hmm. Think about it. Think about it. The world's population has grown and grown and grown, even without the interference of hospitals. You don't need an official structure or organization to birth yourself. You just don't. You don't. There's nothing that I experienced, and I'm not trying to tell anyone how to give birth, okay? I'm sharing my life experience. There is nothing that I experienced having birthed my children in a hospital that leads me to feel like that is the safest. They nearly killed me, literally. I bled out for like 30 minutes. They tore the placenta and I hemorrhaged for about 30 minutes before people realized I was laying in a puddle of my own blood on a birthing table. Yep. It was all the way up to my neck of my blood. Yes. Pool of it around my feet. You tell me that's the safest? No. No. This is why you need to connect with the people who have the passion and the integrity. Let's be real here. I want to say 2 people. So I have a huge family, right? There's, I don't know, I have maybe like, I don't know, like 30 cousins or something like that. There's a lot of us. There's a lot of us. And I think out of all of that, I think only 2 outside of myself, so 3 total, didn't become some type of medical something, right? So, a large portion of the people entering into the medical field, especially into nursing, y'all not gonna like what I've observed, but it's the fucking truth at this point. A large portion of the people who become nurses are not passionate about their job. They're not there to take care of people. They're there for the paycheck. I can't blame them. Hey, you know what? World fucking sucks when it comes to money. I can't blame them. But let's be real here. Let's be real here about why they're there. It's not to take care of people. It's to make the money. And you cannot be mad at that. That is an honest living. But here's the thing, people who go into specialties like being a doula, oh my God, they have a passion. That is a passion that developed, a passion to support a feminine and a newborn energy source, a newborn piece of God. I mean, like, oh, I love it. I love it. Find yourself a spiritual doula, someone who celebrates your growth, someone who has the experience, the knowledge to protect you from unnecessary experiences, who will help prevent unnecessary missteps and pain and struggle. If I were to label myself as something, technically, yes, I'm a teacher. If you want to be really technical, I'm a professor. Truly, realistically, I'm more like a doula. That's what I would identify as, a doula. I help you rebirth yourself. I help you do so very organically. I listen to you. I identify what position you're in so that I know how to better support you in that position, knowing you're there temporarily, knowing that you will transition into another position, into another space within yourself. And that new space carries with it new sensations, different from the last. You know, there's stages that birth experiences. There's stages where the head is not even able to be felt because the baby's so far up, it hasn't descended down yet. There's stages. You don't just magically, at whatever hour, all of a sudden it's time to push. No. The cervix has to mature, it has to thin, and then it has to dilate, and then the baby has to position itself, and then the head has to engage before it could ever traverse that birth canal. All of these processes need to occur. And when you're with someone like me, and I know these processes, I know these stages, because I've gone through them myself. And the only goal I have is to support you in the ways I wish someone else was able to support me. That's the only thing I want. To prevent you from feeling what I felt when I had no one. See, when you go through things, and you're like, why am I the only one that goes through these things? Why just me? Because you're being prepared, you're being trained by your life experiences for the purpose you will be fulfilling. Why did I have to go through all those things alone? So I could better grasp the gravity of why I exist and why I need to help in whatever way I can help. Don't let them affect your perception of your process. Your process is your own. Your process is your own. That's it. You decide how that process goes. You decide how far you want to take it. You decide all of it. Decide. Make a decision. Honor your decision. That's all you can do. Commit to yourself. Excuse me. Very beautiful things happen when you do that. Very, very beautiful things will happen. So, guys, I got to get going. If you are part of the Soul Sanctuary, I do want to hop over there in a couple minutes. I want to have like a quick convo with you guys. I'm going to do an energy report. Yo, there was some stuff that came through earlier as I was napping, and like it was this thing of I was napping and then suddenly I was shown a visual and I knew I wasn't napping anymore. I knew I was not napping and I was like, no, no, are you serious? And I cannot say it on this channel, but I will be talking about it and pulling some cards to kind of help guide us as we go through these things. I would love to kind of give us a little bit of clarity, advanced knowledge, and clarity. You know, I'm not about just telling you stuff and like, sorry, you're scared. That's it. I want to go through some different stuff that, you know, you guys can use to empower yourself, get a better idea of the time frames and timelines. So meet me over at the soulsanctuary.love. If you haven't already signed up for our recurring contribution, you can there. If you're within the United States, that recurring contribution, that monthly recurring contribution, it can be used as a tax deduction because we're an actual nonprofit. So, you know, just kind of keep that in mind. If you'd like to join us, hurry on over. I'm going to go set that all up and then I'll be live over there. Okay, guys, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. Bye, everyone.